Hello, welcome to HITC Sport, and in a year where everyone misses their family, I miss the Premier League. Don't worry though, unlike my dad with the milk, it will be back soon. And you can all start to panic and eat bowls of your own armpit hair for lunch when your team fails to sign anyone in the summer, or you get spanked off Ipswich Town in a pre-season friendly. Oh god, I miss the meltdowns. Christ, above half of them are from myself. Anyway, signing players off the back of international tournaments, it's a dangerous game. It's like asking for someone's hand in marriage on the first date. Yeah, just wait until you find out that she has armpit hair longer than Dumbledore's beard. And similarly, just wait till you find out that Patrick Schick is about as consistent as Jonah Hill's weight. But right, I'm gonna pick the one Euro 2020 star who your club should sign this summer. Right, let's go. Arsenal, Manuel Locatelli. Well, this doesn't take a genius. Arsenal have been sniffing out Manuel Locatelli pretty much ever since he banged 2 goals against Switzerland in the group stage. But considering Juventus also want this 23-year-old Sassuolo box-to-box midfielder, I'm not gonna lie, Arsenal have a very outside chance. But with Granit Xhaka off to Roma, then why not just throw in a £40 million bid and see what happens? And who knows, with Locatelli next to him in midfield, Thomas Partey might actually start playing like someone that's worth more than a half-empty dustbin. Aston Villa, Denzel Dumfries. Denzel Dumfries? What kind of a name is that? He sounds like someone whose best sport would be Quidditch. But okay, clearly whoever controls the transfers at Aston Villa these days must have spent the summer sniffing glue, because good Christ, they've just paid Norwich £40 million for a midfielder who's already been relegated from the Premier League. And they've just re-signed Ashley Young, you know, just the 10 years after he walked out on them. He now looks like a wizened old granddad who probably falls asleep at the dentist. Good Christ, this is like in 10 years time Brad Pitt begging Angelina Jolie to take him back when she now is the face of a mashed up pumpkin. Oh yeah, and they're trying to sign Emile Smith-Rowe. It's a bizarre policy, but I think we all agree they need to upgrade at left back. Matt Targett has done well, but lads, it's Matt Targett. Not only does he look like something out of Westlife, but he's about as exciting as Weetabix. Denzel Dumfries though, he's a 25-year-old left back, plays for PSV, just chipped in with 2 goals for Holland at the Euros. He's got 2 years left on his deal, so a £12 million bid should do it. Go on Villa, he can be your modern day Wilfred Bouma. Brentford, Kasper Dolberg. Okay, you might think that a 23-year-old star of the Euros like Kasper Dolberg, a former Ajax wonder kid, would have better offers on the table other than relocating to goddamn Brentford. Good Christ, he's probably never heard of this club, and he probably thinks Ivan Toney is a type of milk. I'll be honest, I thought this guy would just end his career just being known as that fella who once had his watch nicked. But to be fair, at the Euros, he's looked like a Danish predator in the box. As for Brentford, I don't care that Toney smashed over 30 goals last season. In the Premier League, he could look like Tony the Tiger. Let's not forget, a year ago, he was playing against the defenses of Wimbledon and Gillingham. Also, Brentford played 2 strikers up front. And I think it's safe to say that both Marcus Forss and Brian Mbemo are probably going to be a big pint of catstick in the top flight. So yeah, go on. Put in a £25 million bid to a Nice team which just finished 9th in the French division. A Nice team who don't even have a manager right now. It's worth a shot. I mean, what's Dolberg going to do? Get sick all over the contract? He might do that. Brighton, douche Kaleta Carr. Okay, let's be honest. Ben White is going to Arsenal, isn't he? When he does, just be prepared for every Brighton hipster to drown their sorrows at the bottom of a peach martini glass. Don't get me wrong, douche Kaleta Carr didn't have the greatest tournament with Croatia. I mean, the Spanish very quickly made the centre back look like he had ankles made of butter. But the 24-year-old Marseille defender is a good ball-playing centre back. And with Marseille finishing a disappointing 5th in Ligue 1, then go on, Brighton. Test your luck with a £20 million bid. Burnley, Thomas Holes. It seems like Burnley have needed a right back since the goddamn Stone Age. Am I the only one who thinks that Sean Dyche continuing to persist with a bang average human yogurt pots like Matthew Loughton and Phil Barsley is just reckless? It's like choosing to keep a broken fire alarm in your house. Have fun when your toaster winds up burning down your house in your sleep. Listen, buying from the Czech leagues would usually sound about as appetizing as buying your lunch from a naked homeless man living under a bridge. Pretty sure your ham sandwich is going to be filled with mouse teeth and old man spunk. But lately, buying from the Czech Republic, it's fashionable. Just ask West Ham. And Thomas Holes is a 28-year-old Slavia Prague goal-scoring right back. He scored 8 last season, but can also play defensive midfield, like he did for the Czech Republic this month. He just banged in a goal against the Netherlands. A versatile, no-nonsense player. That man is Sean Dyche's wet dream. Chelsea, Ciro Immobile. Okay, I already know that if Ciro Immobile winds up at Stamford Bridge, he's very quickly going to crumple into wet spaghetti. More like Ciro Immobile. The guy is way too similar to Fernando Torres, Alvaro Morata, Timo Werner, and all the other goal-scoring monsters who wound up looking like melted egg sandwiches at Stamford Bridge. But on the off chance that he is the one to break the striker's curse, then maybe he's worth a punt. It doesn't look like Chelsea are going to get Erling Haaland, and there's more chance of me pooping out a rainbow than Harry Kane winding up in West London. So Immobile, he scored 150 goals in 5 5 seasons for Lazio. That is utterly ridiculous. Yes, he's 31. Yes, he fakes injuries to the point where the watching world would probably love to slap him in the teeth. And yes, there are 4 years left on his Lazio deal, so he wouldn't be cheap. But considering they just finished 6th in Serie A, then is he really going to turn down monster London wages and a £50 million transfer to the champions of Europe? It's worth a shot as a decent short-term solution, isn't he? Crystal Palace, Martin Braithwaite. Okay, calm down. I know that I've said previously that Martin Braithwaite has the goal-scoring instincts of a broken stick, but still, it's Crystal Palace. They're still picking Christian Benteke up front. Surely the arrival of Sergio Aguero of Barcelona is going to make Braithwaite, by comparison, look like a withered old shoe. Yes, he somehow got 3 years left on his deal. And going from playing with Messi to James MacArthur, that sounds like swapping a month-long holiday on a 5-star cruise to spending 2 weeks sleeping in a piss-soaked caravan. But the chance to live in London, to finally have a crack at the Premier League and play under a footballing icon like Patrick Vieira, a £10 million bid. Makes sense. Everton, Joaquin Male. Alright, hands up. How many of you heard the name Joaquin Male before the tournament started? He sounds like a cheap can of tuna. Listen, a move for Atalanta's 24-year-old Danish right-wing back Male, it would be all sorts of ambitious, considering he'll be playing Champions League football next season. But Everton have the money. Everton need a new right back. Slap in a £30 million bid, give him a fat paycheck, and the promise of learning under a Champions League winning coach like Rafa Benitez, then yeah, why not? So great, we're living in a world where Everton employ James Rodriguez. Anything is possible. Leeds, Domenico Berardi. This seems like the type of hipster signing that Marcelo Bielsa would probably foam at the teeth. Honestly, a crisp 26-year-old winger from Sassuolo with a full-on beard. Marcelo Bielsa probably fantasizes about that type of player in the bath. Listen, Berardi is an exciting attacking Italian talent. If you think this guy is just some one tournament wonder, no, wash your tongue out with Vaseline, because he's currently Sassuolo's all-time record goal scorer and just netted 17 goals last season in Serie A. It's official. This would be Leeds United's most ambitious and exciting signing since Robbie Keane in 2001, and isn't that unrealistic? Swapping 8th in Serie A for 9th in the Premier League. And let's not forget, Leeds are a much bigger club. Sticking a monster £30 million bid. And who knows? What I do know is that he would utterly rip shreds at Ellen Road. Leicester, Jeremy Doku. Right now, the Chiefs out of red are probably banging their head against the kitchen sink, furious that Roberto Martinez has revealed their secret, that they're actually harboring a potentially world-class talent in Jeremy Doku. Good Chris, they only signed a teenage winger from Anderlecht last October. While playing for Belgium, who needs Eden Hazard this month? This guy has shown skill on the ball, ridiculous pace, he's won penalties. Yes, I know he's got the end product of a constipated squirrel. I mean, 2 goals for Rennes last season. 2. That is exactly why the elite clubs won't be chasing him just yet. So maybe a £35 million move to Leicester? They've already splashed out on the lightning quick Zambian striker Patson Daka and a league unwinning midfielder in Boubakary Samar. Chuck in the creativity of Yuri Tielemans and James Maddison, as well as the razor sharp goal scoring instincts of Kelechi Iheanacho and Jamie Vardy. And lads, adding Doku to that stir fry of attacking football, and Brendan Rodgers will suddenly have one of the most terrifying teams in Europe. Liverpool, Renato, Sanches. Okay, the Liverpool fans who only ever watch the Premier League, then suggesting to them they sign Renato Sanches, a Swansea City flop who look like an overweight sack of potatoes in South Wales. Oh, they'd be getting close to getting sick in their mouth. But just forget that one relegation nightmare where he did look like Jar Jar Binks on Smack. This is a 23-year-old midfielder who's already won the league in 3 different countries, including topping PSG with Lille. The last time Lille did that, look at the players that came out of it. Eden Hazard, Yohan Cabaye, Gervinho. He's won Euro 2016 with Portugal. He's a former Golden Boy winner. He is a comfortable ball-playing midfielder who's a tailor-made replacement for Gini Wijnaldum. Yes, I know that while at Swansea he was outshone by Tom Carroll and Ki Sun-young. That is a footballing sin alone, which should arguably come with a jail sentence. But trust me, he would be a £30 million Anfield bargain. Man City, Harry Kane. Well, this is obvious. Do I even need to state why? But lads, put Kane into that Man City team. He'd have the golden boot sewn up for the next 5 years. Man United, Raphael Varane. Let's be very clear here. Raphael Varane was not a Euro 2020 star. If anything, he played like Mrs. Doubtfire in a wig. He was a walking accident. A virtual French clown show. But one bad tournament does not make a bad player. He's 28 years old, has played over 360 times for Real Madrid, and is arguably probably the 2nd best centre-back on planet Earth. And apparently, he wants to join. He and Harry Maguire would be a monster centre-half pairing. Although imagine predicting that back in 2014. You know, when Varane was a Champions League winning wonderkid at Real Madrid, while Maguire was stuck in a team with Paul McShane. Newcastle, Mikel Damsgaard. Okay, Newcastle actually putting in a bid for Mikel Damsgaard would actually require a modicum of ambition. But I'm sorry, Newcastle United, they should be able to pry someone away from sharing a dressing room with a soggy defensive pancake like Maya Yoshida and being coached by like Claudio Ranieri. A manager so far past his sell-by date that he honestly probably stinks of rotten cheese. Damsgaard is a 21-year-old winger who's been utterly electric for Denmark, shining in a central role, and a £25 million move for this guy. He'd line up St. James's Park, but obviously Magashi would probably rather sooner stick his nutsack in a toaster than fork out the cash. But you never know, okay? Last year, apparently they stuck in a £35 million bid for Boubacar Samar 1 year before he won the French league. So every now and then Ashley has these rare moments where he actually wants a good player in his team. So you never know, maybe. Norwich, Miroslav Orsich. Tottenham fans will be praying Miroslav Orsich does not wind up in England, because this Croatian playmaker was the guy who spanked in a hat-trick for Dinamo Zagreb to knock them out of the Europa League and pretty much cost Jose Mourinho his job. That was one of the darkest nights in Tottenham's history. Listen, Orsich is 26 and he does have a CV that looks like it was dragged through a fountain of pig sick. I mean, he's played in Serie B, the Slovenian leagues, the Japanese and Chinese leagues. All that's missing is 6 months scrubbing toilets in KFC, but he did spank home 24 goals from midfield for Dinamo Zagreb last season, and he just netted a debut international goal for Croatia against Spain before providing Mario Pasalic with the last-minute equaliser. If they'd gone on to win that game, he would be a Croatian hero. And considering Norwich are missing a creative midfield spark after Emi Buendia walked out on them for Villa Park, then I think a £15 million bid for a man who utterly carved through Tottenham with a spoon, I think would be a great signing. Southampton, Haris Seferovic. This would be ambitious, with Danny Ings clearly wanting out and Che Adams once again demonstrating that he has the goal-scoring touch of an empty suitcase. Then it's fairly obvious Rob Hasenhüttl needs to buy a striker. Haris Seferovic turns 30 in February, but he's a guy who banked home 26 goals for Benfica last season. But he scored 2 headers against France for Switzerland. He looks like a handful in the box. Why not a £15 million bid, and Premier League wages might tempt him away from a team who just finished 3rd in the Portuguese league. Tottenham, Patrick Schick. Tottenham need a striker. Selling Harry Kane is a terrible business model. It's like when they cashed in on Gareth Bale or when Liverpool sold Luis Suarez. Yeah, you can sell a world-class player for a big fat chunk of cash, but who are you going to get instead? Nasser Chadli, Ricky Lambert? Listen, a £25 million move for Patrick Schick is a downgrade. You can almost smell the one tournament whiff of Milan Baros off his television-shaped head. Good grace, he only scored 9 league goals for Bayer Leverkusen last season. He's 25 and never scored more than 11 league goals in a season ever. I mean, what is this? While at Roma, he was a 3-goal-a-season strike. 3! But Spurs will be desperate, so go on. Just dragging a fella coming off the back of a probable Euro 2020 Golden Boot. Watford, Marko Arnautovic. It's easy to forget that Marko Arnautovic actually exists, but he does. He's just wasting his life on a Chinese beach. Listen, after 2 years of soaking his gums in cash, maybe the taste of Euro 2020 competitive football will bring back his hunger for the game. Watford need a maverick goal-scoring spark. As we've already established, the likes of Andre Gray and Troy Deeney are now just 2 injury-hit lumps of dog food. Stick the trickery and touch of Arnautovic into a front line with Ismail Assar, they could do a lot worse. West Ham, Mikel Oyarzabal. Mikel Oyarzabal sounds like a type of Pokemon. Listen, I know this guy spent the last 10 years of his life at Real Sociedad, but go on, West Ham, it's worth a £20 million punt. He's a 24-year-old winger who is ridiculously consistent with his output. The last 4 seasons, 14 goals, 14 goals, 13 goals, and 13 goals. You know what you're getting from this Spanish winger. And he's just scored the winner in the Copa del Rey final. He scored the final goal against Croatia, then the winning penalty against Switzerland. You're probably not getting Jesse Lingard back, so go on, David Moyes. Pull some strings at your old club and get your hands on a player who used to be in your reserves back in 2014. Wolves, Jan Sommer. Right, so the entire Wolves project has just melted around their ankles. They're about to sell Rui Patricio to Roma, so they're on the lookout for a new keeper. Jan Sommer's looked pretty decent for the Swiss this summer. He's a 32-year-old Borussia Mönchengladbach number 1. It might seem unrealistic, but lads, you want to talk about unrealistic? What was the signing of Rui Patricio then? He'd been at Sporting Lisbon since the age of 12, so go on. Why not try and bring in Sommer? Anyway, that is the end of it, and let me know in the comments section below if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.